Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye KlLLNG, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I drink? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers. In today's journey, we are going to be starting at Point in the parish of Hanover. We are going to be passing one of the largest hotels in Western Jamaica, if not the entire Jamaica, the Grand Palladium Hotel. We are also going to be passing the only street light in Hanover, and I have an apology to make. The last time I spoke about the street light, I had called out the mayor for Lucy, Mr. Sheridan Worm Samuels. But what I got to find out later is that it was the developers for the Ocean Point housing project who paid all of the money to have the street lights installed. So, Worm, Mr. Sheridan Samuels, my apologies. Anyway, sit back, relax, and drive with me. Now, in this first story, on Sunday, in the video I carried, I told you that a councillor caretaker for one of the political parties in Western Jamaica was wanted by the police for serious sexual offences. Well, yesterday, in the company of his lawyer, he turned himself over to the police. There he is on your screen. His name is Tyrone Guthrie, but he's popularly known as Peter. He is 45 years old, and up to yesterday, he was the councillor caretaker for the Friendship Division in the Westmoreland Municipal Council. The allegations are that on the afternoon of Thursday, June 15, earlier this year, a 16-year-old female student, she went to Peter's home to assist him to pull out his hair. We are told that his hair is locked. It is alleged that when the teenager was finished, she went into the house to get her cell phone that was being charged. As she was about to exit the house, it is alleged that Peter, he held onto the girl's hands and forcefully pulled her back inside the house. It is further alleged that he put her on a bed and did you know what to her without her consent. And we are told that up to the time this took place, or allegedly took place, that female was a virgin. Are you following me? Are you following me? A report was subsequently made to the police, who commenced investigations. We are told that a warrant was subsequently taken out for Peter's arrest. Like I said, yesterday, in the company of a lawyer, he went to the Savannah police station where a question and answer session was done, and he was subsequently charged for 1. Forcible abduction, 2. Indecent assault, 3. Grievous sexual assault, and 4. RAPE, and he'll be going to the courts shortly. In this next story, a 40-year-old Westmoreland so-called father, he has been charged for sexually assaulting his 15-year-old daughter. Now, in trying to protect this young girl's identity, I will not be saying the father's name or where in the parish of Westmoreland he's living, but it is alleged that the daughter, who is living in a different community from her father, she went to visit him at his home when the father held down his own daughter and did you know what. The daughter, she reported the matter to some family members, and it was reported to the police. As a result, the father, he was arrested and charged, and he'll be going to the courts shortly. In this next story, we are learning that yesterday afternoon, Monday, October 9, about some minutes after 2 o'clock, a joint police military team, acting on intelligence, they carried out a raid at Hurlock in the Granville area of St. James. Some plastic bags were found in a ravine. The bags were searched and bingo. If you look on your screen, those were found. There are one Uzi submachine gun with an empty magazine, 99 7.62 rounds, 87 5.56 rounds, 25 12 gauge rounds, and that ballistic vest. We are told that the police, they are taking 3 guys into custody pending further investigation. Now, I won't release their names as yet, but if they are charged, I will definitely be updating this story. Intelligencers, big up on yourself, and St. James Police and soldiers, job well done. In this next story, you know the municipal police them? Yes, man. A lot of them wear blue suits or blue denim, and they are employed to the municipal councils. They deal with parking violations in towns, and they also regulate happenings in the markets. Sometimes they remove street vendors off the roadside. Well, for whatever reason, someone ambushed one of the municipal police in Montego Bay, and that municipal police, he is lucky to be alive. He is about 61 years old. We are told that Thursday night, October 5, about 8 o'clock, the municipal police officer, he was walking from Union Street towards the Gully bus stop in Montego Bay. We are told that he was going to take a taxi to go home when he was attacked by a guy who was armed with a machete. The guy chopped him in his head and twice on his left arm. The hoodlum, he then made good his escape. The municipal police, he was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was treated and admitted in a serious condition. Boy, may I tell you. Now, in this next story, this one took place early Sunday morning, October 8, about 2:30. It took place at Dolphin Way in the Old Harbour area of St. Catherine. We are learning that a man, he is popularly known as Shortman. He's said to be in his early 60s and he's a vendor. We are told that Shortman, he sells his little knickknacks in front of his home. Early Sunday morning, Shortman, he was packing up his stuffs to carry them into his house. On reaching the doorway, he was approached by a hoodlum who was armed with a gun. The hoodlum, he demanded the money that Shortman would have made the Saturday night. Shortman, we are told, he grabbed onto the gun and a tussle ensued with him and the hoodlum. During the tussle, Shortman was shot. He received a gunshot wound to his right shoulder. The hoodlum, he then robbed Shortman of 6,000 Jamaican dollars in cash, then made good his escape on foot in the area. Shortman, he was assisted to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. The mayhem. Now, this next incident, it took place yesterday morning, Monday, October 9, about 11:30. It took place at the J&P supermarket at Grange Hill in the parish of Westmoreland. We are learning that the Chinese operator for the supermarket and other persons were in the business place when a grey Nissan AD wagon motorcar drove up and stopped in front of the supermarket. 4 hoodlums, all armed with guns. One of them, we are told, was armed with a rifle and the others were armed with handguns. They went into the supermarket and ordered the customers and staff to lay face down. They then robbed the Chinese businessman of cash amounting to over $500,000 Jamaican dollars, a quantity of phone cards, Hennessy, Appleton, cigarettes, and a Samsung cell phone. The hoodlums, they then jumped into the car and made good their escape. Just like that. In this next story, I brought you a story last week, Wednesday. It was about an incident that took place the previous morning, Tuesday, October 3, about 10 o'clock. It took place along the Grange Hill main road in the parish of Westmoreland. I told you that two guys were involved in a conflict. One of them, he's known as Rick, and the other one, he's popularly known as Viagra. Viagra is about 25 years old, and he's said to be a bike taxi operator. It is alleged that Rick, he used a knife to inflict a wound to the right section of Viagra's lower back, causing a serious wound. Rick, he then made good his escape, and Viagra, he was rushed to hospital where he was admitted in a serious condition. Well, on Thursday, October 5, the police, they carried out a raid in the KlLLNG area where Rick, he was picked up. Rick's correct name is Rick Barrett, and we are told that he and his brothers, they are twins. They were born on May 27, 2006, 17 years old. Rick, he's living in the Geneva district area of KlLLNG. He was charged for the offense of wounding with intent, and he'll be going to the courts shortly. In this next story, I brought you a story on Friday, August 11. It took place at Cornwall district in the Hartford area of Westmoreland. That guy on your screen, his name is Renaldo Moore, but he's popularly known as Chin. Chin was 23 years old at the time. I told you that Chin, he was out on bail and was to have returned to the gun court in Montego Bay yesterday, October 9. He was charged by the Westmoreland police in September 2020 for illegal possession of firearm, and he was reporting on condition of bail at the Withorn police station. Chin, he was shot and killed near to his home on the night of Tuesday, August 10, about some minutes to 8 o'clock. In the report I gave, I told you that the allegations were that it was a guy known as Matic who had shot Chin. I also told you that it was said at the time that Matic, he had vowed to kill off some persons in the area because he wanted to be the Don. Chin, he was standing along the roadway with some friends when it is alleged that Matic walked up to him, pulled a gun and opened gunfire at him. Chin ran off and Matic chased him, still firing shots at him. Chin was hit and he collapsed and fell in a yard. Matic, he then made good his escape. Now, I carried another story last week, Monday, and I told you that the police, they had released the photo of that guy on your screen. His name is Nicko Findlay. Nicko was placed on the Westmoreland Police most wanted list, and the police, they reported that he was wanted for the double murder of those two guys on your screen. They are Emron Hanson, popularly known as Tyreek, and Bryan Tulloch, popularly known as Tulloch. They were shot and killed on the night of Wednesday, June 14, about 9 o'clock. Well, yesterday morning, Nicko Findlay, in the company of a lawyer, he handed in himself to the police. Nicko Findlay is popularly known as Matic. He was born on March 23, 1997. So you just heard me saying that Nicko Findlay is also known as Matic. Well, he was the guy who allegedly killed Chin, and he was charged by the police for the killing of Chin. We are told that Nicko Findlay, also known as Matic, he will also be charged for the double murder of Tyreek and Tulloch. He'll be going to the courts shortly. The mayhem. Now, in this next story, this one is called Even Though Hoodlums Catch Kwaku, them still get rid of his pants, him shirt, and him shoes. That guy on your screen, his name is Akeem Robinson, but he was popularly known as Eddie or Petro. Just last month, on September 14, Petro, he celebrated his 27th birthday. It is being said that in 2017, Petro's name was called on a double murder in the area of Trelawny where he lives. a place named Kinloss. We are told that Petro's name was also called on other mayhems in the parish of Trelawny. As a result, we are told that he was marked for death by hoodlums. Last night, Petro and that female on your screen, her name is Amelia Livingston, but she was popularly known as Amelia. She is 21 years old and she also lived at Kinloss. She and Petro were at Petro's relative's house at Mountain Lane in the Duansville area of Trelawny. The relatives are that man on your screen. His name is Cordel Graham, but he was popularly known as Barrett. Barrett was a farmer, and on December 1, coming up, he would be celebrating his 52nd birthday. And that lady on your screen, her name is Nicole White, but she was popularly known as Sheena. On August 10, just gone, Sheena, she celebrated her 43rd birthday. Also at the house were 4 children between the ages of 3 and 9 years old. We are told that hoodlums invaded the house and opened gunfire, shooting Sheena, Eddie, and Amelia to their heads and Barrett to his upper body. The children who were in a back room of the house, they were not harmed. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 15 9mm spent shells and 7 live 9mm rounds were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be one of the first to be notified. In the final story for today, I carried a story on this channel on May 24 earlier this year. Bear with me. You might have heard some of this report before, but bear with me because I'm going to be replaying some parts of that exclusive report, and then I'm going to be telling you where we are now. Listen to this. That guy on your screen, his name is Omar Edwards. Omar, he's in his 40s and he's a former police constable in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We are told that Omar, he quit the force last year and is operating a business in Portmore where he is living. Omar is said to be a licensed firearm holder. Now, that female on your screen, her name is Reesa Young. Reesa is said to be in her 30s and she was a security officer. Reesa, she got married in June 2011 and that marriage produced a daughter. That daughter is now 9 years old. I'm not sure if there's any other children. Reesa, she lived in the Old Harbour area of St. Catherine with other family members to include her mother. We are learning that Reesa's marriage broke down some time ago. I'm not sure whether or not she has divorced. Now, sometime last year, Reesa, she met and got involved in a relationship with Omar Edwards. Well, let me correct that. Reesa's family, they became aware of the relationship with Omar and Reesa sometime last year. We are told that Reesa, she owned a motor car and from time to time, she and Omar would turn up at her family home. Sometimes Omar, he would drive the car. Some family members I spoke with, they stated that they did not trust Omar one bit, and according to them, he always had this evil look on his face. We are told that one of Reesa's sister, she died in March of this year. She got sick and died. Now, funeral plans were in high gear for her to be buried on Sunday, May 21. We are told that sometime last week, Reesa and her mother, they had a fuss when she told her mother that she's not coming to her sister's funeral. She left the home on Thursday morning, May 18, for work, and she told her 9-year-old daughter that she would not be coming back home in the night. She's going to her spouse's house at Portmore when she left work to stay. Thursday night, the family didn't hear from Reesa. Friday all day and Friday night, same thing. The family, they took it for granted because she left the house upset Thursday morning. Saturday morning, everyone was planning for Reesa's sister's dead yard later in the evening and the funeral for the next day. Omar, he turned up Saturday morning at the house in Reesa's car. He told her family that Reesa had sent him for her 9-year-old daughter. Now, there was no reason for the family not to believe because they knew she was upset when she left the house on Thursday. Reesa's daughter was allowed to go with Omar and he carried her back to the house Saturday evening. That same night, Reesa's daughter, she told one of her young relatives that when she went over to Portmore, she did not see her mother. She said Omar told her that her mother is in the Spanish Town hospital. He told her that she was sick and could not speak. She said Omar told her that the doctor had given Reesa bad medication and she was in hospital with drip on her. But the daughter told that relative something else and that sounded strange. She told the relative that she saw her mother's phone in the car. Persons started thinking. Then out comes Omar, said Reesa sent him for her daughter. How come Omar told the daughter that her mother could not speak? So they were wondering, how did Reesa communicate it to him, Omar? Are you following me? Persons were concerned, but they were distracted by the funeral the next day. So the next day, funeral day, Sunday, May 21. Omar, he turned up at the funeral in Reesa's car and without Reesa. Persons started asking for Reesa, but nothing that Omar said made any sense. Relatives of Reesa, they started observing Omar and they didn't like his movements at all. It would also appear as if Omar, he had planned on leaving the funeral with Reesa's 9-year-old daughter. We are told that Omar also told someone at the funeral that he's planning on going overseas on Monday. That's the day after the funeral. And he wanted the person to drive Reesa's car and carry him to the airport. So the funeral service was almost done and Omar's every move was being watched by some relatives of Reesa, who by now had concluded that something not right. The persons, they were planning on calling the police, but when they looked, Omar was walking away with Reesa's daughter. Some family members confronted him and asked him, where is Reesa? He told them he was gonna get a bottle of water for Reesa's daughter and come back. A family member told him, no, I have water in my bag. The family member handed a bottle of water to the child and again asked Omar, where is Reesa? Omar, he started fumbling and he took out his phone to make a phone call. Now, by now, there was a police jeep passing. A family member stopped the police jeep and told them what was happening. The police, they went to Omar and they asked him, where is Reesa? Omar was fumbling. The police officers, they took Omar Edwards into police custody and carried him to the police station. Have you been following me so far? You have? So, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Are you so in tuned that up until now, you not touch on the love button? You're touching now. Alright. So, have you subscribed to the channel as yet? You haven't? So, why are you waiting? What are you waiting on to subscribe to the channel? Yeah, man. Hit on the subscribe button. It no cost you a dime. It no cost you $1. It no name off none of your data or nothing like that. The reason why you are subscribing to the channel is that as soon as we drop a new video, you are one of the first persons to be notified. Alright, so tell a friend to tell a friend. Now, at the police station, the police officers questioned Omar. Are you ready for the bombshell? You ready? So, here is what ex-police constable Omar Edwards told the police officers. Listen this. Omar told them that Thursday night, May 18, Reesa picked him up after she left work. He said Reesa was driving her car, but on reaching a certain spot along the road, she said she was tired and he, Omar, should come and drive. He told the police that Reesa stopped the car and came out of the car to come around to the passenger side. He told the police that he did not come out of the car. He said he was in the process of crossing over when he heard a single explosion sounding like a gunshot outside of the car. Omar, he said he saw when Reesa fell to the ground and he saw a man running away in the dark. Omar told the police that when he came out of the car, he saw Reesa bleeding and he put her in the car and rushed her to the Spanish Town Hospital where she was pronounced DEAD. Did you hear what I just said? Do you believe what Omar told the police? You see, I'm just giving you the details for now. I'm not gonna elaborate as yet because there is a lot more to come. So that's what Omar told the police. The police, they took Omar to the Spanish Town Hospital morgue where he pointed out Reesa Young to them. Reesa's family was at the police station waiting, and owing to the fact that they had just buried a family member, the police, they didn't know how to break the news to them. The police told the family, we have things under control, so go home and later on we'll come to the house and speak to you. The family went home, and later in the night the police went to the family's home and told them the tragic news. Reesa was shot and killed, and her spouse Omar Edwards is in jail as the prime suspect. Now, I know you have a lot of questions, and trust me, I'm trying to get all the answers for them for you. And by the way, let me tell you this from now. I personally have no doubt that it was Omar Edwards who killed Reesa. The question is why? That plus more will be coming up. Stay tuned. So, you heard that? Well, after I carried that report, about 2 weeks later, I updated that story because the police, they charged Omar Edwards for misprision of felony because even though the police suspected that it was Omar who killed Reesa, they were awaiting certain evidence, and based on the report he gave to the police, they charged him because he would have known that a felony was committed, and based on what he said, he did not report it. Well, Tory come to bump, you know. During police investigation, the police, they seized Omar Edwards' licensed firearm as also Reesa's car. We are told that police forensic crime scene investigators, they had removed expended bullets from Reesa and the roof of the car, and based on ballistic analysis, the expended bullets matched Omar Edwards' licensed gun. So Omar Edwards, yesterday, he was charged for the following crimes. 1. Murder. 2. Conspiracy to murder. 3. Unauthorized possession of a firearm. 4. Unauthorized possession of ammunition. And 5. Using a firearm to commit a scheduled offense. Because what you must understand is that even though it's a licensed gun, if the police have evidence that it was used to commit a crime, it now becomes an unauthorized firearm, or he can be charged for unauthorized possession of firearm. Are you following me? So, murderer Omar Edwards, he'll be going to the courts shortly on this case. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye NewsLink and KlLLNG TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver say, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them no out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica.